Before we start the video, I would appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe if you want more Dying Light 2 content. What's up guys, welcome back to a new Dying Light 2 video. In this one we're going to be doing a recap on Dying to Know from yesterday or the other day. Now the gameplay is very similar to what we've seen before from the other creator gameplay, so there weren't too many things that were very surprising that came out of this. There definitely were a couple we're going to mention here, but as far as a gameplay aspect and a choice making aspect, and a story aspect, there wasn't too much we really learned that was new here. So getting right into it, we start off at the beginning of the gameplay with Lawan at the edge of the city, it seems like. We mysteriously see the skyscrapers light up, the building power comes on, everything's lit up, and then instantly everything is shut down, so that was a little bit weird. We don't know exactly why that happened. We do know it has something to do with the substation that Aiden goes to check out, so maybe it's possible if we get all of the substations in the city running again that we get the city lit up. So then we get traversal to the substation where Aiden actually does help out the peacekeepers in capturing it. They end up killing a few renegades who try to get to the substation as well. Something to point out, Steve, the character from the 2019 trailer, is actually driving the van still. So that is something cool to see that Steve is still in the game. And once again, like I said in the beginning, this doesn't really show off too much important choice making in this gameplay, which is unfortunate and is one of the things a lot of people right now are probably criticizing, like where the choice is actually at. And it's a fair point. But maybe they just don't want to give away all of the choices or maybe any of them right now. I guess maybe you could include when Aiden has to choose between the PKs and survivors for who he wants to give the substation to. But in my opinion, that's not really anything too serious as far as story making goes. Once again, we're going to have to see how that plays out. We don't know exactly what will happen yet if we delegate 7 of the substations or areas to one faction or the other, or if we split them between the two. We don't know the certain outcomes in the story it will have. I'm expecting at least some kind of story effect with those choices, but I don't think it's going to be anything too major. From there, we end up seeing Aiden actually head over to the Fisheye bar finally, which seems to be closer to the center of the city. I'm pretty sure they mentioned a long time ago it was supposed to be somewhere near the center of the city. And as you can see, we approach it, we see the blimp, and I think this is the first time we've seen the blimp this close up. It actually has a fish design on it, and it looks like it does belong to the Fisheye bar. So that's definitely cool. I mean, the blimp this whole time has been very mysterious. We haven't really heard anything about it. It's gonna be cool to see if we can actually possibly climb up to the blimp or get in the blimp somehow. But I don't know about that, who knows. Once we actually do enter the bar, it looks a lot different from the 2019 version. Of course, this is because there's not really any crowd there. There's no performance going on. But still, just the actual design of the different hallways and rooms is a lot different. I believe the staircase that was there in 2019 completely got taken out. As Aiden is actually walking through the bar, we hear someone at a table say, "Frank is such a handsome fellow. It's a shame he's such a booze hound." So this is the first time we've really gotten the introduction that Frank is going heavy on the drinking. And I really don't know about this, to be honest, just because Frank is obviously drunk here. It's unclear if this is going to be his character majority of the time, just kind of the drunk person now. Before, we totally saw him as a mentor character, someone who's keeping peace between the two major factions. Now it seems like his character is a bit more lousy and more of a drunk. But like I said, it's unclear if he's going to be that way all the time, or if that's only going to be his character when he's drunk time to time. Maybe he'll be a good mentor when he's sober. But I am leaning towards him being drunk in a lot of the scenes just because of that comment from the person at the table. He's such a booze hound, which I don't know if I really like, to be honest. Frank from 2019 was very comforting and very, very mentor-like. Also something to mention, Frank's new voice actor, I'm not feeling it. I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but I'm just not feeling the new voice actor, to be honest. After this whole Frank scene, we end up going outside of the bar, and we see the Renegades are trying to attack and get inside, trying to blow everything up outside of the bar and stuff like that. And the Renegades, I'm not going to go too in-depth on them in this video, but I think they are a bit more basic than they were before. Most of the Renegades on the ground just go around screaming, "Electricity, electricity, oh my god, PK morons." It's just a bit weird. It's a lot different than the 2019 Renegades we're used to. So to me, it seems like the Renegades have really transformed into more of a just simple bad guy type faction, which I don't know if I'm a fan of. Probably going to notice here, I'm not a fan of a lot of these changes we've seen. That's just my personal opinion. Something else to note is when we actually are fighting some of these renegades, we notice the weapon mod has been changed. Before in 2019, we actually had to turn on the weapon mod. In this gameplay, we had the weapon out, and Aiden actually just didn't even have to turn it on. It just automatically worked on them. So that's definitely a big change that has went under the radar. And I mean, the rest of the gameplay is pretty much just fighting renegades off and getting rid of the cannons. I guess one thing we could note is the ground pound that looked absolutely atrocious to me, and I would assume some others. I mean, I don't know what exactly this ground pound was with the one hand, and also the dude kind of just bugged out afterwards, which is kind of funny. But I don't know. I just had to mention that, I guess. And then at the end, Matt ends up coming into the room when Aiden's about to get destroyed and ends up saving him. A lot of people during the stream were asking me about parkour and combat. It looked fine to me. Nothing I'm really too worried about, except for the floatiness. But I mean, the parkour has basically looked the same since 2019. So I don't want to go into much further depth, even though I could, just because there's going to be some content in the next week or two that we're going to be covering here. You'll kind of see what that's going to be about, I guess. Can't really give away too much on it. As for the 69-day challenge, we're going strong. Right now, I'm just trying to make it a Christmas break so I can actually get some sleep. But yeah, if you like the video, go ahead and like it. Subscribe if you want more videos. And I will see you in the next one.